Hi everyone, welcome back. I wanted to take a look at this deck today, and I know that it is an out of print deck, but I thought, why can't we, as a group, still enjoy looking at out of print decks? There's some artwork in here that is quite fascinating, and when I looked at some reviews online of this deck, it did talk about taking a look at the reversals, especially in the coin suit, the pentacles, because you get a whole different take on it when you see them upside down. And I thought, well, I'm going to put it in order. Let's walk through it together. And I have to say that I didn't bond much with this deck when I got it, and I got it in HomeSense years ago for $9.99. And it comes in one of these sort of video type cases, and it is by Ananda Pilz. And mine is a 2003 edition. And let's just see what it's all about. We'll give it a second chance, and I put it in order, as I say, and we'll walk through it together. So bringing it down. Central. Okay, so that is the other cover card, and it is pretty good cardstock. I would think that this would shuffle pretty good. As I say, I didn't play with it much. I don't know why I didn't bond with it, but I did not. So get the shadow off of that. Looks a little bit better. Shift you over. The Magician. Well, it doesn't have the typical Rider-Waite images, but I'm okay with that. Kaleidoscope of colors. And to me, it's also bringing in some of the chakras. Okay. More of a male figure there than the female high priestess to me. This is where I think I find it looking like the Fountain Tarot. And I watched so many videos where people were falling in love with that deck, and I just couldn't pick it up. Every time I looked at it, it seemed cold, and I got the same impression of this years ago. So I thought, well, let's give it a second chance. I must say I like that image versus, but if you look very closely, and I think I've missed a lot of this, is that there's a face in here with this aura surrounding it. I do like that image. The Lovers. The Chariot. Yeah, when you stare at these cards a little bit, I don't know whether the camera's picking it up, but there is a building back here too, with this beacon of light going out. There's a lot going on in that one. It's just that the details are so fine. You really have to hunt. I looked at this and I saw spaceships and I thought, no. And then I began to see the chains that hold up the two dishes for the Justice card. And now I'm seeing eyes back in here. And this would be like the energy from the third eye. So maybe I wasn't ready for this deck years ago. There is a nice book that goes with this, and I'm going to have to make my way through that. Now this is where you can really see the digital layers that have gone on. The way this is dipping down the stairs reminds me of a Dali painting, and I think this was one of the images in a Dali painting, the bird and the wings up there. That's sort of nice with the fish image in the moon. That's a nice rendition for the card number 20, the turning point too. I like that. And it's neat that these are little puzzle pieces here. Some people might be put off by the large banner on the bottoms. The borders aren't too bad. And the Fool comes as card 22. All right. Not sure if this is a building down there. It's a very delicate Three of Swords. Keep checking because everyone talked about the reversals. It's more powerful upside down, I find. I've looked at the Fountain Tarot again many times, but I just can't purchase it. I don't think it's for me. Maybe again, I'm not ready for it just yet. This is very neat with these crystals here. Now I see a piano keys here. Very different for the Ten of Swords. Now this is where it's a little different again with the Princess of Swords. And in the book that I have, it seemed to go Princess, Queen, Knight, then King. But you are free to do what you want when it's your own deck. Now, if I flip that one around, because it looks like another person here. So this snake is appearing on quite a few cards. And it is a card deck that you really have to, for me, I guess, wait for the images to appear. It takes my eyes a little bit to see that eagle. So this would be our fire suit. This is where it seems a little bit cool as a deck. The sequence of cards here. Very icy, very cold. So this is a little bit of a zodiac symbolism going on in here with the planets. Now that one has a watery feel to me. That card is quite spectacular. Now I'm trying to find the sense of loss. The Five of Cups to me is a sense of loss, emotional sadness, heartbreak. So I guess if this was land and this was below the surface, there's a lot going on below the surface. I'd like to hear in the comments if anyone has the Fountain Tarot, if they find this imagery similar or the feel of it. Do you find this a warm deck, or does it leave you a little bit cold? Like I'm not able to grasp the happiness, the joyfulness, that rainbow effect that we usually have with the Rider-Waite-Smith decks. This leaves me a little bit flat. And usually when I get a deck, I do read the book, so I'll have to try again. I didn't write in the book, so it doesn't look like I spent much time with the book, because usually my books have notations all the way through them. Now that looks like a mermaid, because I can see some of that action going on down there. Okay, so there's a horse there and there's a fish there. If I can get it to focus. So it's a unicorn. That looks like a nod to the Last Supper. Okay, so these spheres, I believe, are coins or pentacles, however you wish to refer to them. So we'll be checking here to see what it looks like in reverse. Okay, this one in particular was talked about. To me, they just seem like reflections. Okay, well, this one does appear to open up after you stare at it for a little bit, because the mind wants to complete it as a whole orb. So it would be a deck for me that would be challenging me to move away from the Rider-Waite-Smith images and I guess let the intuition roam. There is a vastness to some of the images. I like how they're bringing in the crystals for the earth element. So I suppose it's more of a meditative deck. And our king. Oh yeah, I can see the face in the background there. Sort of has that Jesus imagery to it. And then when you flip it, it looks more female. Well, I can't talk about the book too much because I haven't made my way through it once again. But I will, and maybe I'll have some further insights to share when I get to the book. But I thought, why not look at some of the older decks? Enjoy some of them. It's not an AI deck, it's a digital, but you know, history does move along rather quickly. And there are even some AI tarot sites now where you can let the computer tell you what the card means and your choices of the day. And I have used a couple of those sites before. We called them AI, but they were computer generated. And it's a way of learning. I guess it can be fun just to see what the different takes on cards are. So I hope you've enjoyed this. It seems, as I say, a good quality cardstock. And the images on the back, they remind me of the Shroud of Turin. So I will say have a wonderful day, everyone. And we'll talk again soon.